We have our NFL side. We have our him zone. We're talking about best and worst performances of the week, our him and not him each week that we want to address, highlighting the best and worst players of the week. For the basketball side, we have our own version of this instead of having the him zone, which we did have before, but wanted to bring a new version of it to you guys. We have a new thing that we call the OK player and team of the week. Okay, I see you. You doing your thing right now. We want to make sure we highlight you. And we came up with that name to highlight players who stood out. We have a big name that we'll address, somewhat a notable name, and a rising star we will address as well that we think you deserve. That deserves your more of your attention. So, Alec, you want to go ahead and go first with your names on the list?
Yeah. So for the bigger name, as you said, I'll go with Scotty Barnes. I think the Raptors haven't been winning a whole lot of games. They're 2-4. They did have a big win against the Bucks, who we just talked about. But Scotty himself has been cooking, and he's been the clear best player on this team, where that was Siakam in years past. Siakam's been struggling a bit, but Scotty's been consistent every night. He's averaging 21 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 53% shooting, 40% from three. He's looking like he's taking that third-year leap. And like we talked about with Fred VanVleet leaving, he's taken on a lot more of that playmaking responsibility. And he's looked great to start this season. And I think it's a trend that continues throughout the season. And with this Raptors team struggling as it is, I think they want him to be the future of this franchise, but the Raptors are probably going to have to make some trades. So we shall see who is involved in those kind of things. But yeah, Scotty, he's been impressive. And it might go under the radar for some because the Raptors haven't been playing super well and don't have a whole lot of national league televised games. So
are you still rolling him as your most improved player? We talked about before the season, you had him as your pick. You still picking him to be that guy?
I think Maxey has to be the favorite right now for sure, just averaging 30 and off to a great start himself with Philly. And he's going to have the keys now with Harden traded officially. But Scotty is right there, though. Like if Maxey slips at any point, Scotty is right there because he'd be number 2 for me right now. I think he's looked great.
Definitely salute to him. Love what he's doing over there. My first one for the big name had to just make sure we get this out the way first for our first week. We'll go ahead and just point out again what Wemby's doing. Love what he's doing right now for my first big name of our okay, I see you player of the week. Want to salute him for how he's gone out to start the season. 28 minutes a night, 29 minutes a night, 21 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. It's just showing, like we talked about before, just an alien right now, truly, and balling like many folks may not have seen coming, but living up to the hype that folks had given to him coming from France and all of that. So major props to him for what he's doing with the Spurs squad. They're borderline playoff team potentially this year. We'll see if he can continue to get them there, a playing team. They're in that range, and excited to see what all is coming in his career. But off to a great start already, a weekend, already someone deserving of the award, and looking forward to all that's on the way. Now back to you for your smaller name. Who would you have as your next guy you wanted to mention?
Yeah. I had Derek Lively of the Dallas Mavericks, who we kind of brushed over him. Like when we talked about the Mavericks, we talked about their roster, and I brought him up at center, and I was like, I don't know if that's really moving the needle at all. But
it's moving the needle.
Yeah, no, he proved me wrong immediately. Game 1 of the season, I think he had 16 and 10, and he was just catching every lob and finishing. Like he looked explosive, and it looked like he brought another dynamic to this Mavericks team that they were missing because Maxi Kleber and Dwight Powell haven't been doing the job as far as the pick and roll big to team up in a duo with Luka, and he looks like a match made in heaven for the type of pick and roll that Luka likes to run, and being the finisher in that pick and roll duo. He's only averaging 8 and 8, 2 stocks, playing 24 minutes a game, but definitely caught my eye with that first game, and caught Luka's eye too. He was saying like rookies tend to be a little nervous, but he didn't look nervous at all. Like he immediately jumped in there and was a major impact. And he had a stat line in his last game of 7 points, 13 rebounds, 7 offensive rebounds, and 6 assists. And that was the first rookie to do that since Steve Francis. I haven't heard that name in a long time. But Steve Francis in 2000, so 23 years since I've seen a stat line like that. So he's been impressive, and he's got I believe it said Tyson Chandler has kind of been his mentor.
I was
And
trying
that's
to
a
pull a
great.
picture. I saw a picture somewhere of him. Yeah, here it is, right here. Yeah, he's been in the gym with Tyson Chandler a lot, which I think is a great pairing. I think he
Yep.
can learn a lot from Tyson, and yeah, you can add to that as well, just about how that can influence him going forward.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect mentor to have for a young player like that, and especially on the defensive end. Uh, Tyson Chandler, a former, I believe, defensive player of the year one year.
He's doing a few things. I
Yeah,
can't quite recall exactly what.
definitely,
I know
definitely all defense several years, but I
yeah,
believe he won a DPOY one year. But yeah, I think he'll be crucial just as far as the professional that he was, the player that he was, the defender that he was, being able to impart that wisdom onto Derek Lively in his young career. Because I think if you're a Mavericks fan, you should be excited about what you have found in him.
yeah, we were worried at first, and I'll talk about them more in the moment. But we need to be a team that will be this good. But they've turned things around already to start the season. Haven't even had Kyrie in the lineup for all their games yet. But even still, that was the name I was thinking of who hasn't been playing yet fully.
Okay.
But they've off to a good start 4-0. I'll talk about them more in a moment. But yeah, salute to him and what they're doing there. Definitely deserves some attention. So definitely a good name for you to mention. Another star who he's a first year guy that deserves attention. A guy who sat down for a little while, developing some skill. Jalen Johnson was sitting on the bench for the Hawks for it was just a year or two.
Yeah.
Just getting developed as need be. It kind of was a logjam for the Hawks for a moment there. They had a lot of wings and pieces there that were taking a lot of time from him that he could have had, but now things opened up, and he's also developed his skill to be a player that has earned the time that he has so far. 28 minutes a night, 13 points a game, 8 rebounds a game, 2 assists. He's off to a good start to this season, developing to a wing that the Hawks definitely can use, as they have gotten off to a pretty strong start so far. So salute to him. He's been doing his thing. Definitely a player that Trey can use to feed off of as they go along. And people been talking about the Hawks, maybe something another star to go alongside Trey and DeJounte, because that duo can do so much. They may have found a great wing piece that they already have in the building there in Jalen Johnson, and we'll see that can continue the rest of the year. But yeah, salute to him and what's going on there. So yeah, great stuff I wanted to give attention to. Oh, okay. I see you. We're working the name out a little bit, but yeah, definitely players that are worthy of our attention. Definitely those guys are in the mix right now. In regards to our team of the week, kind of I don't want to say a league pass team of the week, but can kind of be in that lane if you want it to be. Just teams that have caught your attention. Alec, I'll pass it to you again first. Who has been on your radar so far?
Yeah, there were a few teams that I won't fully highlight in depth, but the Celtics obviously,
Sure.
the Warriors are up there once again. But for me, I
this
want
more so to highlight the not as notable teams. Well, of course, everybody's watching the Lakers and Celtics and all of that. For the teams that you may not be aware of, yeah, who are you locked in on?
Yeah, for me, the Pelicans at 4-1, they've had these. They tend to get off to these good starts when Zion is healthy, and he is once again. That we've seen them jump out as the first seed before in previous years, and then kind of fall down to reality once he goes out or Bi goes out. But they've looked great so far. They're at 4-1. Bi, Zion, McCollum, all have been sensational. McCollum's actually leading them in scoring.
Yeah.
So he's been great for them. A steady veteran guard presence there. Valanciunas as well has been solid, and they've got some young players stepping up as well. They had a good win last night against the Pistons with no Bi or Zion, and they had a good win against the Knicks and the Thunder as well too on national television. So yeah, I think my eye is definitely on them, because if they're able to stay healthy, like kind of similar to the Clippers and some other teams we talk about, it's kind of health dependent, because when they're healthy, Zion is a force to be reckoned with, as we know. That still remains the same. So yeah, Pelicans have definitely had my eye.
Salute to them. They're 4-1. Ironically, you talked about them in regards to Derek Lively. I didn't realize that, and I put it together. But team I have on my radar, I wanted to highlight again, just because we had them kind of low in the standings in our predictions, but end up playing well. The Mavs, as we've talked about, definitely have been on my radar so far. They're 4-0 right now. The one team undefeated in the West, still above the Pelicans and teams of the like. And yeah, just wanted to make sure they got more attention. Luka, I keep on joking about him missing his window. I seem like he's still trying his best to go and claim it, as he's been off to a great start, balling with and without Kyrie to start the season, making the most of all the opportunities there. So a lot of good stuff with them that I wanted to make sure was brought to our attention. Folks already may know of Luka and what's going on with him, of course, but the fact that they are up right now, when folks may have thought they may have been more the pack or bottom of the pack, as we maybe even predicted, for them to be 4-0 to start the season, definitely is an eye opener. So yeah, salute to them for what they're doing. We'll see what Luka can continue. He clearly is up there in the MVP race and all of that. So yeah, it's going to be a fun season with them the rest of the way too. So good stuff there. Any more? I don't have pictures for them yet. Any smaller names? We talk about 4-0 teams, 4-1 teams, regardless of their standings. Any other teams that have your attention right now that you're locked in on watching when you can?
Yeah, a couple teams, the Thunder for sure. They've been impressive so far with their young squad, and I think they have a lot of versatility across that team. So I think they're going to be exciting to watch for the duration of the season, and could potentially be more of a playoff lock than a play-in team. We shall see. The West is so loaded, and it's going to change a lot day in, day out as far as the standings there. But yeah, the Thunder definitely on my radar.
They are a team that could be rising the standings for sure, and definitely a team worthy of attention. So yeah, definitely salute to them what they're doing. They got pieces that could be award winners across the board. You got all NBA guys and Shea. You got Rookie of the Year type players and Chet and all kinds of things. All these guys, Defensive Player of the Year type guys. People like what Lou Dort can do on the defensive side of the ball and things.
Torture chamber,
conversation at least. But yeah, and Williams and all of that could be on the rise as well. So yeah, definitely a lot of guys deserve your attention there. For a team that may not necessarily be winning right now, a team that's caught my attention. For whatever reason, I like watching this Pistons squad. Man, I think I mentioned it before the season too. But seeing what Cade's doing, Cade's a man amongst boys. James Durant is a man amongst boys right now. Both of them guys are balling right now. Well, they may not have the wins to fully match it just yet. There are some guys who, if you're trying to find a team that maybe a year or two away and could end up breaking through like the Thunder have this year, I think the Pistons maybe that squad, as they're putting pieces together there, that are pretty nice. Folks within Detroit are kind of mad that they are favoring Killian Hayes over Jaden Ivey now.
Yeah,
but it is what it is. They're still trying to get Ivy to better understand his role on that team. Also, Ausar Thompson definitely has been impressive throughout the season as well. Almost was my pick for our OK player of the week, but ended up going with Jalen. But definitely good pieces across the board there. They have James Wiseman, folks I know of. They have Marvin Bagley, folks may recognize the name of still. There are pieces there that if they randomly come up on their TV, I wouldn't turn away too quick. I'll give them a few minutes to see what's going on. So, yeah, salute to them for what they're doing in Detroit. I'm still building things up there with Monty Williams at the helm. So, yeah, just wanted to highlight them real quick.